Now, we're going in today on NHS waiting times. 15 million people supposedly are going to be on that waiting list. Now, we locked down and consented to our civil liberties being trampled on for one specific reason, didn't we? To protect the NHS, to stop the NHS being overwhelmed. Well, the NHS is now more overwhelmed than it's ever been. The news is that up to 14 million people could be on that NHS waiting list by next autumn. There are currently 5 million people already waiting for routine operations. We have to now ask ourselves, is the NHS fit for purpose? And it objectively isn't. We now have a healthcare system where if you're poor, you might die. If you can't afford to go private, you just have to wait indefinitely for treatment. People are raiding their life savings, their pension funds, their kids' inheritance, just to pay for routine operations, but not even those, actual life-saving procedures as well, like hearts. So basically, the NHS will now only cater for you if you go into A&E or you have COVID. In fact, the only priority for the NHS now is people with COVID, despite the fact that around half the people in hospital with coronavirus actually caught it in hospital. We've been told to wear a mask to protect the NHS. We've been told to stay at home to protect the NHS. We've been pinged to protect the NHS. We couldn't hug our loved ones at Christmas to protect the NHS. We furloughed to protect the NHS. And yet here we are. There will be people watching this programme right now who found a lump 6 months ago and still can't get it looked at. There are people who had a scan in the winter who will have to wait for next winter to get the results. There'll be people in crippling pain watching this programme right now who just want our glorious NHS, Labour's sacred cow, to take care of them. And it can't. GPs had to be persuaded to go back to work. Always remember that. NHS staff are considering going on strike over pay. 7 years at medical school, and it's a shock to you how much you get paid. And people say, we can't rush out of lockdown in case we see a surge in coronavirus cases. If we don't get out of lockdown, millions might die. Millions, or at best, live in agony. We talk about politicians being out of touch, and they are. The whole time we were locked up at home, Matt Hancock was playing away from home. But how about Chris Whitty and that sage lot, eh? How out of touch are they? How long before the public say, enough is enough? We have to learn to live with this virus. We have to make sure our NHS starts doing what it's designed to do, which is cater for all illnesses. And at what point do people say, no, that's it, we're done? I care about COVID, I really do, and I don't want to see anyone die from it. But if you can't get treatment for anything from a hernia to cancer, then surely people start questioning why our only priority is COVID. At what point does Sage's priority actually become lethal? I think the British public have had enough. Whitty says, next slide, please. I say, goodbye, please. If 15 million people end up waiting for treatment on our healthcare system, then our health system has collapsed. The great irony is that the people responsible for this are the very people we trust to look after it, and we can't let that happen.